in the past a number of different ways. Free range is nice, but we don't have doors and windows and walls where I live. And they think that every structure is their home, and so this didn't work for us. We've also in the past gone outside and made some nice fences and tried to raise them outdoors. And what usually happens is they've destroyed every living thing within that perimeter of the fence. And eventually it gets kind of smelly and the flies come and the chickens get mites. So we were intrigued by natural farming and this idea of raising our chickens inside of a structure. But when we've done that in the past, it means handling the manure. And that's not very fun either. Not only is it not fun, but we usually don't keep to schedule and it ends up a mess. So in the past, we stopped raising chickens completely. And with Korean natural farming, they've given this potential of having a house for our chickens. We can keep our chickens inside the house, but we never have to take the manure out. And there's no fly problem, there's no smell. I can walk through the coop in my bare feet if I choose. And it's pretty densely populated. We have a 12 by 30 structure, and we have 165 chickens inside. I think it's one chicken per 2 square feet. So the secret is the microorganisms. The microorganisms that we've propagated, we put into the floor. We have a living floor in Korean natural farming. And in this way, when the manure is laid, the organisms almost immediately transform it into something other than manure that's going to create a smell and that's going to draw flies. So you can come and tour our chicken house, and that's what you'll observe. It makes raising the chickens just absolutely a joy, an absolute joy. So I want to share that first part. The second transformation in terms of raising chickens is we use the microorganisms to ferment the foods for our chickens. Master Cho says, when you look at the chicken, you better want to be a chicken in this house, in all ways. So, if you have your water system, smell the water. That's what they're going to do. They're going to be down there with their heads. Smell the floor. Is there enough air? And also, he says that to be healthy, you need to ingest ferments. Now, in Korea, we saw a country, I toured Korea, there wasn't one obese or even fat person in the whole country. They have a lot of cultural tradition around what they eat that's still staying with them. And one of them, I asked Master Cho, I said, what happens if you don't have ferments in your diet? And he says, well, you get sick. It's that simple. So he tells us you must ferment the foods for your chickens. And you have to include greens, and you need to include all different types of feed. So he says, don't just go and give them this grain and call that your chicken feed. It's not sufficient. So what we do is we take our grains, we do buy organic grains, and we put them in a bin. We get greens that we grow. Chaya is a big one. We're working on moringa. We have comfrey, katuk, grass, cane grass. You can use a lot of different greens. Put them through our shredder. That's not a fun part. We make silage, which is we ferment those greens. We add those to the grain. We have the privilege of having several dairy cows, so we add whey. We add some sort of carbohydrate. Master Cho says you want about 1/3 of your animal feed to come from a carbohydrate. Papayas, it could be seconds on sweet potatoes, whatever you have. We're using bananas. Okay, so I put that in a big mound, and I'm getting pretty strong, let me tell you. I mix it by hand. It's about 150 pounds. I'm down there mixing it up till it's nice and moist. We put a little cover over it, and it ferments overnight. So when I come back the next day to feed my chickens, it's all nice and warm in there, and it smells kind of like banana bread. You're half tempted to want to take a taste, but you know you don't want to. And I added indigenous microorganisms to that mix. So this is a very rich and wonderful feed for our chickens.